Hey.
You suck.
Ever since I was a young boy, by the age of 5, my mama said to me, you will be the baddest man alive. Now I'm a man, way past 21, and I believe you, honey, I'ma have lots of fun. That's an M. I spell A. That's an A. A child. N. D. Lots of O. Y child. That spell manners, boy. No B. That spell man. That spell man.
There's an old rule in comedy. It's never follow a music act.
So true.
But here at Live from the Dutch Hall, Canada's only late night talk show, we say fuck the rules. We're going to rock your balls off tonight.
Try it out.
Yeah. Then we're going to have a few drinks, maybe a smoke or two, and a lot of laughs.
Hell yeah.
And tonight's the perfect night for it, because we got in a Drunken Uncle, Norfolk's greatest rock duo.
Hey.
And we also have the greatest band in late night history, as you know, the Nocturnal Emissions. But there's only one way to get this show started, fellas.
How's that, Peter?
That's a little thing we call the theme song around here. That's it. Welcome everybody to Live from the Dutch Hall.
Yeah.
We are Canada's only late night talk show.
Fuck yeah, we are.
And The greatest pod shed to ever come out of a pool cast. or-
Rolls off your tongue.
What? But we are. And we are that way because we have the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions, this week comprised of a supergroup. Wow! Michael Bow on rhythm.
Hello,
Let's
ladies
hear
and
it for him,
gentlemen.
everybody. Beside him, we have Steve the Reluctant German. Waving at Willie. And the balls of the Nocturnal Emissions this week is right where they should be, between the legs of Whiskey Wes Hagens, everyone. And tickling the skins, it's not our French tickler this week.
No, it isn't.
We've got in a guest tickler. He's from Drunken Uncle. Costa Chapsis is here, everyone. And beside him, playing the weight of lead guitar and vocals, shredding it up.
Shredding.
Second time in the Dutch Hall here. Dylan Cunningham is here, everyone. And our director here, our director cannot be ignored. Paul, stop ignoring yourself. There you are, right there. He's our director. He used to be our bartender, but I'm slinging the duty tonight. And you know what he is? He's a really great guy. Paul Van Dyke is here, everyone. Let's hear it for him.
Ollie, yeah.
And there's a tickler. You're saying, look at the tickler. He's still here. Why is he here, not on his familiar drum kit? It's because the French tickler this week is playing the role of our technical lead. Fuck Chambers.
Chambers.
And not only that,
Fuck you, Chambers.
he rocks a hell of a popcorn bowl, ladies. Let him shake you up. It's the French tickler, Ken Boulanger. Let's hear it for him. Paul, you want to do this?
Now,
Wait, 1 second. One more time, go.
and now introducing your host from live from the Dutch Hall, Toot
Time.
President's Club Award winner Pete Van Dyke.
Yeah.
All right, that's how you open a show, everybody. Paul, I thought you nailed it this week. I thought you really nailed it. You know what? Shazma did it last week, and Shazma, did you hear him?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Struggled at the beginning. I'll tell you, he was a little bit of the butterflies, I thought, because he was wearing a lot of hats last week, Shazma. He had to be the super fan. He had to be the bartender. He had to be the announcer. He had to be the guest.
The beef person?
The beef person. That's not easy shoes to
A lot
fill.
of pressure.
Yeah. And you've seen the people try to fill in for you, Paul, when you're not here, and they don't necessarily do it with ease all the time. Like sometimes we really miss you because it's not easy to say Norpac.
The beef people.
Yeah. That seems like it should be easy, but you get it easily. If every time I say Norpac,
The beef people.
it just rolls off Paul's tongue. See
Makes
how
it
it
seem
works?
so easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Little question there. The beef
Well-
people?
Yeah.
What about when someone else says it?
when someone else says Norpac?
The beef people.
What about when I say Norpac?
You got no
Nope.
fucking
No power.
Fucking
No
nothing.
power.
No
I got
Paul.
no talent.
No. It does not work.
You're not saying it right.
Yeah.
It's Leviosa.
We found that we found that feedback has it has multiple powers. It's not just me that has that power. Michael, you can say it, right?
Can
You
I?
did last week.
No, not last
Try
week.
it. Or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, last week you were doing something different.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, different kind of feedback.
Yeah. See, it worked again. You did it,
That's
not
weird.
me.
That's weird.
You did it, not me, because you're the band leader.
Oh, that's why I have the power.
But Michael, it leads me into this great thing. The listening audience, you brought it up, and now I can't ignore it. The listening audience has to know. Last week you missed our show.
I did.
It was the sweet, sweet Kelly. You're not your betrothed, but you're soon to be betrothed.
Fiance.
Your fiance.
Talk about something that I really want to say it, but it's like weird. I'd just rather say wife.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than fiance. You don't have to be a fancy like.
Accent aigu.
I don't need an. Yeah, you don't need an accent aigu to say wife.
Yeah.
It'd be wife or
With
something.
that.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
I have to ask
Wi-Fi.
Kev. Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, Kev's our French correspondent. I forgot.
Oui.
Oui, oui, I am the bartender tonight too.
He's a French-
Tabernacle, cocksucker.
Like a beer.
Gets me a warm 50.
Oui, bon.
Give me a warm 50.
So, Yet last week you missed our program, and Michael, you've said to me many times, and it's happened once this year. You do not like to miss 2 programs in a row.
That is why I'm here.
Right.
I thought I might miss this one, but I made it.
Hey.
Last week, no questions asked. You had to.
Oh, yes.
You had your fiance's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and you, my friend, are well. You're well out of your league with your fiance.
Yeah, understandably.
Yeah, that's why you asked her to marry you. If you would not ask a girl who was within your ability to get to marry you,
Exactly.
you would ditch her as quickly as you put your penis in her, right?
Not too easy.
To marry a girl of your attractiveness that you could get with your looks and intelligence and skill set and charm, she would be horrible, right? Horrible looking woman.
I don't know about horrible. Jesus.
I'm sorry, Michael.
Right here.
You got Kelly, though, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You
yeah.
wouldn't get a girl of Kelly's caliber.
No, knocked it out of the park on that one.
No, you went above and beyond, is
That's
what I'm
right.
saying. You know, your girls, I'm saying these girls are probably nice girls you could get. They're probably fine in their own way. They have
Subpar.
nice personalities on these girls.
Good smiles.
But what you got is the full package.
Oh, yes.
Beauty, intelligence, hard work, loving, all this stuff. So it's her birthday.
Yep.
And you're saying, I don't care about my commitment to the life in the Dutch Hall and being part of the greatest.
That's right.
You're gonna.
For that week, I'm out.
You're like, this day is more important. Kelly needs to be serviced and pleasured and given all the pleasures that you would expect from settling for you. Right?
Yes. Yeah. I gotta keep the standards high.
So
Like I can do this.
right. So you're at home last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, I'd switch spots with you in a second.
Yeah, and I can tell the jealousy in your voice.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting there hosting a podcast with Shazma, right? And you're sitting there like God knows what you're in for, like what you can see with your eyes, feel with your hands, like et cetera, et cetera. I know I'm being a
Smell.
gentleman
Yeah,
here.
don't you wish you knew?
The smells, tastes, sounds, and touches, and all that stuff. I just can only imagine. It's
pretty special.
This is a birthday party.
Yep.
But Michael, I gotta tell you, I gotta ask you a question personal. This is not on the show. Just as like between
Side
you and us.
on the side.
Yeah. Just if it was my if it was my wife's birthday, right?
Mhm.
And I have to pleasure her, right? I'll do that. But then like eventually you get yours, right?
Eventually you
On
get
your
yours.
birthday.
Like you're not just gonna like it's her birthday, so you want to make sure you give her everything she wants because it's her birthday. You can't be selfish, right?
No, I'm 100% not selfish.
Not selfish at
Oh,
all.
it's all about her.
All right, but eventually you get yours, right?
Well, I think that she is she's overwhelmingly beautiful, and that it's just going to happen eventually, anyways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I can't help it.
Well, you know what? I think that what you're saying, Michael, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that her pleasure is your pleasure,
That's exactly right.
and that
You worded it better than me.
Well, I'm glad we can work this out. Hey, that's what the Chiefs Day was talking about. You gotta hit on your girls. Like,
Oh,
just
yeah.
because you're in a monogamous, long-term relationship for the rest of your life with this woman doesn't mean that you have to like not put in the effort to really like curl her toes, as Aaron.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to trying to chase that
Well, once
for
you
the
get
rest of my life. Yeah,
Yeah. It's good, man.
It's okay.
To have that on that
little
little carrot, eh?
Yeah.
You gotta like wine and dine her and like really try to romance her. Jane told me the other day. She educates me all the time about women. Is she said to me the other day, maybe, just like rubbing your dick into me at like 12:30 at night when I gotta wake up at 6 isn't the best.
Not the best?
Foreplay. Yeah.
No.
She said that's not the best foreplay. And I said, that's great to know because then I won't. Next time I'll like rub your back an hour earlier. Whatever I got to do is what I'm saying. I'll go the extra mile, Michael.
That's right.
Anyways, I don't know why I got to talk about this. You seem like you got it all under control.
Yeah,
she
no,
was
it great.
pleased.
I assume she was pleased.
Success.
Yeah.
She didn't complain.
No complaints. We're still getting married, so
So that's got to be a success.
I think everything went well. Yeah, I don't know. I just I said, you know what? Fuck those guys. It's all about you.
Ouch.
And that's where it was. I'll go next week.
And then tonight also you almost missed tonight because
Yeah.
of hockey,
Yep.
which is
My other love.
because this is a Norfolk County. There's a lot of people in
It's a
Norfolk.
big weekend. Yeah.
Get ready to drink, people, if you're playing the Norfolk County drinking
That's right.
game.
Grab
Listening
a beer
to this
or a
game,
shot.
'cause we're going to talk about some local shit right now.
In the little town of Langton.
Yeah, little town of Langton, Ontario. They have a thing called the Six-Pack Tournament every year. Is this correct? This is like hockey, but it's not like hockey. regular hockey rules, ice hockey, the Americans would call it.
Yeah, throw the house out the window.
Right? This is not those rules of hockey. This is a different sport altogether.
Yeah.
Played like hockey.
Oh, it's yeah.
Same rules of hockey. You're dressed in the same hockey gear.
Yeah.
You're on a hockey
you
rink. You're
play
trying to
with
score in the net.
Same amount of players, but you
Same
don't.
amount-
Well, you don't have lines. You just have one line. You don't come off the ice.
So it's like endurance
It's
hockey.
2 10-minute periods.
No subs at all on the bench.
Well, see, I'm 35 plus now, so now we get a sub.
Or one
Once you
sub.
get over 35, you get a sub.
Oh, okay. Did you have to get a new guy in your team this year then to get a sub?
I'm the new guy. Last year, I qualified last year.
Oh, okay. So, but I thought you played with this six-pack team since you were in young
Oh,
too.
no.
This
Nay,
is
nay.
nay. Two.
I'm second year on this new championship team.
But now you're in the Old Timers League. This
Yeah.
is a different story altogether. Now you're in Langton Old Timers
That's
League.
right.
Now I know there's a team in Langton called the Langton Thunderbirds. Is that correct?
Used to be.
They're not there anymore.
Incorrect. Yeah,
Well,
it was the junior team. They're no longer exist.
No, Old Birds.
Yeah, old birds. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. The Old Birds.
Yep, they exist.
Where they still exist.
Yep.
And
They run the tournament.
Oh, they do. The Old Birds. thing?
Yeah, I think the old birds are the Norfolk Old Timers, whatever they're called.
Yeah, I heard of this team was playing the Old Birds, right?
Nice Monday night.
I think it was my brother-in-law Jeff Ball was playing it with a Waterford team, and they were playing the Old Birds, and they said he couldn't believe it because people chirp on the bench where they're like yelling at the other team to get them off their game or whatever. Well, the Old Birds would just kept yelling at their own team, like they were just like hacking on their own team the whole time so hard that they were making the other team laugh so much, like how much they're hacking on their own guys, right?
Typical Langton, yeah.
Yeah. And they got great nicknames, too, on that team. I remember at the time that this is years ago. I don't know if they still have these guys on the team.
Oh, probably.
Dink and Toots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dink
The
was
old
there.
boys.
All those guys are still on the team, even Toots. They have a guy named Toots.
I think that's part of it, right? You just play like that's your night out for the week. So
Yeah.
hang out with the boys, play a little hockey, and I think it's more about the social aspect after.
But Langton nicknames is what I'm saying is they're not meant to bring you up.
No, they put you right down.
Like-
Right, it's all about making fun of each other.
Like Dink as a nickname.
Dink goes to the nicest guy on the team. His nickname is Dink.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest family men that lives in the whole town of Langton, right? And his name is Dink. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And Toots is just the greatest nickname ever for a dude.
Probably just a big burly old guy.
No, he's not actually. You know who Toots is? I'll tell you after. I don't want to
Off-air,
put his name.
off-air.
I don't want to put his name out there, but yeah, Toots. It's the greatest nickname because it was given to him by his teammates, and it's the most emasculating nickname because it's something that a woman would be offended by, right? If you call a woman Toots, she ain't gonna be happy about that, is she, Dylan? Hey, Toots.
Depends where you go, man.
Oh,
Like
yeah?
calling her abroad.
Back in the
Right.
day,
Yeah, like
you go,
bro-
to you go to the Malibu. That's
Toots. You
that's
think Toots,
foreplay, man. That's
Toots would
foreplay.
get you places at the Malibu?
Hey,
So
Toots.
broad is not.
Let me see that
If
squid.
you're Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I don't think broad's gonna work ever.
No.
Right? Horror never works.
These broads. In the same time, it was like these broads. Joe
Horror
Pesci.
has never worked for me
Horror,
so
yeah.
far.
Keep on
What
trying.
about
Just wait.
so chick? What about chick?
You call
Eh.
them chick, or do you talk about them and refer to them as
No,
chick?
like if I was talking to
What's up, chick?
to a girl and I would be like, "You're a really cool chick."
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's all right. You just
That's
called her cool.
I was with. How would if I said I was? Who you talking to? And I'm like, I'm talking to this chick over here.
Well, then it's not about her, so she's not so upset. At the very least. All right.
I'm calling her. Oh
I
yeah.
think cunt would work the best.
You know that's one. That one has.
Karen. How
That
about
one has
Karen?
really mixed response.
There it is.
Really mixed response. We haven't had. You know, we made a promise to one of our listeners that we would say that last, and I think we pulled that off.
Yeah, it's been pretty clean.
Did they write? Did they write in like, please stop saying cunt so much?
They said that they would listen. No, it was a girl that listens to our show. She's a super fan, and she talked to her boss. Said you should listen to Live from the Dutch Hall. It's a good show. And then she says, I would listen to the show every week if you guys would just stop saying cunt so much. And
That's
then,
two.
Yeah, so much.
It's actually 4. I've
Is
been
it?
counting. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Have we said
Yeah.
Yeah, it really took
Well,
off.
you
there.
lost her.
who
Kevin,
is that?
Kevin
Oh,
She
yeah.
just turned it off.
Oh yeah, that's. How do we do 4 cunts already?
It
Was that
happens.
5?
I knew that
was gonna
Oh.
surprise everyone.
Gosh
NATO.
darn it.
Yeah.
5 times.
We are really on a roll of cunts now. We're gonna call this show Roll of Cunts. Roll of Cunts with Drunken Uncle is the greatest. iTunes is never gonna put that up. Can I do Roll of Cunts anymore? What are we up to now, Kevin? You still counting?
9.
Ah, yes. We're gonna break a record on this show. Yeah.
She's writing you right now.
Figures the German said 999. Did you see that? We don't even need the soundboard anymore. We just have a German in the band. You can say it every time.
Yeah, it's quite a hootenanny down in Langton though.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Quite a hootenanny. So
Yeah.
you just go on there. How
I
long
like
are
to
the
call
games?
it
You
the
can't go
Royal Gala
one period.
of Langton. Well, it's like a half, so yeah, 20 minutes in a normal game, but this game, people are like
2 10s?
keeling over 10 minutes in.
How many periods do you play though?
Two.
2 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 2 halves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a half an hour game.
Yeah, half. And by the end of it, you're exhausted.
Oh, you're
'cause
you're like 5 minutes in, you're
you
exhausted.
got to end up playing a different game though, don't you?
Yeah, it's a possession game. As
Did you win?
Mike Babcock. Yeah, we won 3-0.
Okay,
It was
good.
all worth it.
Yeah, it was all worth it then.
Yeah.
Because if you wouldn't have, it would be humiliating.
Yeah,
Especially if old Dink and Toots beat you. Right?
Yeah, hopefully they don't get the best of us.
Yeah,
But
they
it
go-
really is something. Like people come from. There's a lot of like young guys and like guys out of junior hockey and stuff that come from London, Hamilton, Cambridge, all over.
Really?
Got buddies down this way. Have played hockey with guys this way, and they hear about this tournament. Like it's been like this for I don't know how many years. I want to say 20 years at least.
Where do they stay?
To other buddies, like they drink all weekend. It's a great time.
Oh, they come down to see their friends in
and
Langton.
then they hang out
and then
yeah,
they
with the
play
country
hockey.
boys, and they just tear it up.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
That's mean you don't need hotels down here.
No,
You just have to
stay
know somebody.
over. That's
Yeah.
right. They all know somebody that.
That's why there's no homeless people in Norfolk County because
Because everybody's got a buddy.
That's
Everyone's
right.
can find a
Oh yeah, my
couch.
buddy, and oh
Hey,
yeah,
my
he's buddies
fucking
with.
buddies with
Yeah.
this guy. He's got a place that I can fucking stay, man.
yeah. There's one homeless guy in Delhi, but like everyone's asked him to stay on the couch, but he just likes the bridge.
Yeah, and he gets free
Cigarette.
subs in the morning, the buns.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he helps bring them in, so he gets a nice bun every day.
Really?
Yeah,
And
Sounds all right.
yeah, he used
not
to
too
go
bad.
and
That
free
sounds all
cigarette
right.
from the ashtrays in town, hanging out.
There's a Toonie lady in Simcoe. Don't think she has a home.
Toonie lady?
Yeah.
Is that the one? Is she home? Is she the one that looks like she's old but she dresses real young? Is that the same lady?
I think so. Yeah, she pushes a shopping cart often.
Like, is she really small?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. She has no home.
I mean, looking at her,
Yeah.
probably.
It's
doesn't
funny
have
in
a
the
home.
small, like our small towns that we like. Everybody knows, like, oh yeah, that like
That's
that
you
one.
Know, you
that
know the
person.
homeless people. Yeah.
yeah, you actually know who.
Yeah, you know who they are by
that's
name.
true.
You know, you can name them and you could say like, yeah, I've talked to him lots of times, asked him what he's doing on the bridge, and he just keeps saying hey, it's warm under there. He likes it. Get off his ass, right? He's choosing to live a free life. That is a free life though. To be truly like,
100%.
yeah, like that is the freest you can live.
Wash a couple windows. Hopefully that gets you through the week.
You're really just trying to like get through the next day and just find food and go on and like that. Like there's a certain piece of me that kind of like envies that kind of lifestyle.
You want to try it out?
The freedom of being like nothing, like homeless, like you have no responsibilities, just like wandering through with like one of those sticks with the handkerchief on the back of it,
The hobo pack.
the hobo
It's
pack.
not that glamorous.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it
Have
doesn't
you
sound
done
that
it?
great.
Have you done it?
No, but
It's like
I'll speak
backpacking.
for them.
Okay.
It's like backpacking, right? I thought it was fun, but it's nice to know you have a home to go back to.
Right. That's the thing. Backpacking has an expiry date.
Expiry date, yeah.
Right? Then you go back home to mom's couch and
Yeah, the hopelessness of not having someone to go back to and just doing that forever would probably end up being a short-lived life for me. I would probably end up just jumping in front of a subway or something, right?
saying cunt. You'd probably end up saying cunt a lot more than you already do.
Oh, just like with a twitch.
Yeah.
Cunt,
Cunt.
cunt,
Tourette,
cunt.
Tourette
Piss.
version.
Piss is another good one. Piss.
Yeah, no, and piss is actually pretty like PG
Yeah. It's,
by today's standards.
yeah. Absolutely. In
What would you like accept a kid like if you had a 10-year-old? What's the worst word you could say where you don't say like hey easy?
Steven?
Probably ass.
I don't know.
bitch? Bitch, I think is like. That's
could get away with-
that's the top. Depends.
For a 10-year-old?
Yeah. Or like if
Hell.
hell that ain't nothing. If all right,
For a
let me give you an example. A 10-year-old is like stubs her toe and goes, shit. What do? Do you laugh or do you go,
Do you-
come on?
The 10-year-old's using it correctly, so I would just be like, I have no issues with that.
I have a 10-year-old that would say "fuck."
Absolutely.
Stubbed his
And-
toe.
Yeah, that
And-
one I have
And
to have
it's
a check.
properly used.
Properly.
It is properly used though. It's where someone says, like, when kids are trying it out and they're using it wrong, like they're like, like, I remember when I got in trouble in grade 3, one of my friends was like yelling at or he's using swear words, and I thought it was really cool. And then I just remembered saying like asshole bitch. Like I just was like throwing out asshole bitch, like a combination of words that didn't really make sense. I didn't know how to use it properly. So like that, what I would want to correct my kid, say like, come on, don't be an idiot, use some real
Use it
good.
right.
Yeah, use it right. All you have to say is fuck the right way, and then everything works out, right?
Use it right or don't use it at all.
Yeah. It shouldn't be.
That's what you need to be teaching your kids.
Right. But
Use
it's
it
so
right or don't
easy
use it.
to use.
Yeah, you could run around saying asshole bitch all day, but
It's not going to be. It's not going to
gonna
be as
do anything
good.
for you.
You know what I liked when I was a kid? We used dickweed. Have you ever called a guy a dickweed?
Dickweed.
Yeah, lots of dickweed. Yep.
Yeah,
I know a few dickweeds.
Yeah, dickweed was a good one. And like pot liquor. My dad used pot liquor a lot. Have you ever heard that one?
Yep.
You dirty pot liquor. I like that one. It's like you're such a dirty scoundrel that you just lick pots. You just walk around.
It's funny because you question yourself after you get called that.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Am
I a pot
licker? Yeah, I don't like
You're like a
pots.
raccoon at a campsite.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty derogatory thing to call a person
Almost
as a
sounds
pot licker.
racist.
Yeah, it almost sounds racist, but I don't know which race.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah, you
know.
kind of get lost in it.
Yeah, I don't know which race licks pots, but they all do it. Those fuckers. We blanket racism against an unknown race.
Unknown race.
It's what we support at the Dutch Hall.
We're pretty good at that.
Yeah. We should do this segment we call feedback. We got feedback. Oh, it's a double.
We got feedback. It's feedback. Motherfucking feedback.
Motherfucking feedback.
Welcome to Feedback. We got feedback, everyone. This week's segment is brought to you by our friends at Amazon. If you go to our website, livefromthedutchhall.com, and click on our Amazon banner, as long as those ad blockers are off, you're going to get to do your shopping. You can buy anything at Amazon, and then we're going to get a little bit of money, and then we use that money to make the show better, and then it gets better and better, and you get to have better entertainment, and then it goes forward, etc. So do it. Do it.
You know what I was shopping on Amazon for the other day?
What was it, Michael?
A Dutch bike for my sweet. Oh, little Dutch bike. Yes, it's from Holland.
Oh, a rack on the back.
A step in.
You could go for a travel with that.
I couldn't find one. It takes too long to ship in.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go to the one. There's a place just outside of Port Ryerson.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I'm like, okay.
That's where we bought ours. Me and Jane.
Yeah.
Jane got a nice set of his and
See,
hers
this is
Dutch
where
bikes.
at the Dutch Hall you learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Dutch products.
Port Ryerson. Yeah, about Dutch products.
Yeah,
even.
Port Ryerson drink.
Excellent.
And for those of you who aren't drunk yet, let's just do a few names in town.
Blaney.
Let's do. What's one we haven't done in a while? Let's do
Walsh.
Nice.
the old standard Walsh. Yeah,
Is that
I
the
like
old
that.
standard? That's a,
Well, it's a nice one. It's got a church and a school.
Home of
couple
Warriors.
schools.
Yeah, a couple schools.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
Rhineland. Shout out to Rhineland. Thanks,
Yes.
Jane. There we go to the people in Rhineland. There we go.
Drink it up.
That's what I was looking for. Anyways, we also have to talk about Van Dyke Party Services. This time of year, we're talking spring cleaning, people. You're going to have to get your spring cleaning done.
Get the rakes out.
The weather's going to change. You're going to have to do your yard work, clean up winter's awful mess.
the worst.
That's a terrible job. But you know what's going to make it better? Giving us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com and asking us to hire Van Dyke Party Services. We will send you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke first cousins in bright yellow jackets, and I guarantee you're going to have the time of your life. And all it's going to cost you is $100 of cold hard cash, plus all of our expenses, which will be dear.
Oh, yes.
I'm warning you. And if you're not 100% satisfied that you've had the time of your life hanging out with me and my cousins, we will return that $100, but those expenses have run through our bodies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services
Don't live your life in regret.
are brought to you by our great friends and primary sponsors at Clean Flow.
Clean flow.
And Dave Charters is not here today. You want to know why?
Charter.
Because he's scared.
He's lubed himself into a corner. Every time he tries to go for the door, he slips on his honey goo and he falls down. He's just sliding around on the ground like a greased pig right now, in a circle, just on a honey-gooed up
Continuous
floor.
loop.
Yeah, just for God's sakes, Charters, tape it and put it online. We want to see it.
Fucking pot liquor.
What a pot liquor, Charters. And you know what? The last sponsor we got to mention is our good friends at Yarmy Electric. Yarmy Electric, I got to tell you, actually, Derek and his crew were actually in my house today.
What?
And I'm not even kidding you at all. They're in my house today. They're doing a fantastic job. And you're saying, Pete, you fucking hypocritical bastard.
Just
All
about to say.
of
the
these
fuck?
weeks of telling me how busy your cousin is, I'm like, you mind your own fucking business, people. You mind your own business. I got stuff to wire up. And Yarmy did a great job of it. But you know what? He was frazzled. He didn't have time for me at all.
Of course he did.
He was frazzled. What he did was he ended up working around the clock to fit in us because of all the great sponsorship we gave him, right? What kind of sponsorship have you given, you old lady with a friggin' flickering toaster or lights or whatever you got that's sparking in your kitchen? You got nothing. Leave my cousin alone. He's got enough business. He doesn't need yours. And you know what else? Maybe this guy can have a bit of time to just put his private parts into his wife like a gentleman.
You know what else he needs, Pete? Slumber.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
I've been out with him this week, and he needs a bit of slumber.
Yeah, he does. You know, you want to know why? It's the only time he doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Exactly.
is when he's sleeping. And for God's sakes, if we could just get him to sleep more, we could maybe save the man's life. Derek, our Yarmy Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. And if we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself. Give me a smoke.
so we only have actually one piece of feedback. So it's going to be a nice short segment. And we ask everyone every week. We say you can go to us live from the Dutch Hall at gmail.com. You can go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, fucking whatever else they make up. We'll go on it so you can give us a message. There's so many ways to give us a message. But this week, people listened to Shazma's episode last week. They said, I don't want to say nothing. Except for,
Speechless.
yeah, we've had such a good run of people that are giving us feedback. And this week, only one lady, and she is the lady who is, to be honest, I think she's taking the place of the now deceased Haitian dwarf.
Oh,
R.I.P. You poor dead little man.
what up, buddy?
There's only, because the last time he said he left feedback about a month ago, and he has been AOL, and every time when you think of a little person and you think you haven't heard from him a bit, you think his poor little ticker's probably given up on him or whatever. They have liver problems like Gary Coleman. What do they have? I don't know.
Psoriasis?
Psoriasis?
Isn't that what it is?
What did Gary Coleman, like, why was he so short?
I don't know.
I
I don't know why he was short. I thought you were asking why they get sick.
Oh, why
they get
did
sick?
little people die?
Brain damage.
What?
Hitting their head on shit. You know what I mean?
No, would it be for giants?
No, that'd be for Yeah,
That'd
that
be
was
for
fucking
giants.
awful.
Yeah. That's opposite.
I guess that would be for giants.
They would die in a flood, but it would only be like it wouldn't be
Yeah,
like
in a flood.
a real
in
flood.
the Brantford flood.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Brantford
Right?
They died in the Brantford flood. I'm like, how sure was he? It wasn't
Nobody
that
wanted
bad.
to hold him up.
I fucking, by the way, I signed the new lease on my new place because I just moved to Brantford the day after.
What part? In
The flood.
In the flood zone?
No, thankfully not. But fuck, man. I was like,
Butt fuck, man.
butt fuck, man.
Butt fuck, man.
Yo. We need a new theme song for every time somebody goes, but fuck, man.
We have the butthole song. Anyways, we got one piece. We got to go to this lady. She's the new Haitian dwarf. She's the cheese lady from Delhi.
Oh.
We got to check on the cheese lady.
3, 4, we're checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run, checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, she's always having fun, checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run, checking on the cheese lady, on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, not looking at Charter's bum. She's not looking at Dave's bum.
No, she was not at all. Dave took liberties with her as far as I was concerned last week, saying that she was looking at his bum.
No, she's not.
But I don't think she was at all. Anyways, we have a super fan. She gave us a cheese tray with meat on it and everything last week and gherkins.
I was kind of pissed I missed it.
A nice gherkin, Michael. You
When I
would
saw
love
the
that.
name of the episode, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Smoked units.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jesus
she really
Christ.
spoiled you. She was doing it just for you, Michael, and you weren't here.
I blew it.
We loved it.
I had other pleasures.
You blew it, all right.
You guys got the smoked Gouda on a Shazma episode?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking luckiest dude on planet Earth he is.
He's got,
Yeah.
he's got a jacket.
good timing.
He's a
Shazma's
good
got great
guess,
timing.
Yeah.
Great timing. No one's ever denied his timing. Anyways, this is what the cheese lady said this week. She said, "Happy Easter to the Dutch Hall. Jane, hide your peanut butter from the boys. You don't need that negativity in your life." That negativity. No, I don't understand that, what she means by that. Because, like, we were talking about peanut butter. If you weren't listening to last week's show, we were talking about, like, animals. Like, let's say, we were talking about Charters. Like, he was in the bathroom, right? He was making, I don't know why he was in the bathroom.
What if?
But he was like,
What if?
he was trying to, he's a busy man, right? So Charters, like, what if Charters was just sitting on the toilet making a peanut butter sandwich for his kids or whatever for the lunches?
For his kid.
He's trying to, like,
For
double
his
up,
kids, yeah.
right?
Just got out of the shower.
Right.
Totally
So
naked.
he's busy. He's got to do a lot of things at once.
That's right.
So Charles gets up and he trips over his pants when he's trying to pull them up, falls backwards into his peanut butter jars. His ass is all covered in peanut butter. His dog runs in, just happens to smell it, or I don't know what he did with it, why the dog was there, but the dog saw that Dave's ass up in the air. He's pulling the peanut butter jar off and then starts licking it. Before Dave can even tell the dog to stop, Dave's blowing ropes of cum all over his bathroom. That was the scenario we painted last week, right? Now, somehow, out of that, the cheese lady had suggested negativity. Out of all of that,
That's what she gleaned out of that?
yeah, negativity. Can you
Really?
believe that?
Sounds like Dave was pretty happy.
That sounds like a pretty positive experience.
The dog was happy. Dave was happy.
Yeah, man.
Both parties were
The
happy.
kids
That-
had good sandwiches.
yeah, kids got their sandwiches.
So let's go down the list. The dog got peanut butter. The dog got to lick some ass. We know dogs like to lick ass.
yeah, even their own.
Charter's got his ass licked. That
Yeah.
probably doesn't happen very often.
No, and the results of that, no, you can say he might not have liked it, but he came ropes on the fucking
Exactly. On the shower curtain.
Yeah, on the shower curtain. That's pretty good evidence he enjoyed himself. So everyone, as far as I'm
On
concerned,
the-
that's a positive experience.
Shooting ropes on the brushed silver handles.
We asked for pewter. I'd like to jizz on pewter. Oh, this is great when Charles doesn't show up. So what are we talking about? Is that in for feedback? Oh, no, she's not done. Anyways, I don't think that's negativity. It's positivity. Jane, hide it if you want to. I don't know what you girls are cooking up on us. Don't take away our joy in life is what I'm saying. Hashtag listening in Delhi, and I'm always on the run, but I'm not looking at your bum. And by yours, she must mean Charters is, because
We nailed it then.
I would never suggest that she would be looking at my bum.
Accurate lyrics.
Yes. By the way, Teresa, I saw you at the trivia last night, and sorry I didn't get a chance to say hello, but I wanted to get the heck out of there. And
Well, see you later.
so actually, for those of you who are in Delhi, if you're looking for good cheese, go to the Second Mouse in Delhi. Thanks, Teresa, for the feedback. And you can give it to us in all those ways online. And so we will read it online next week. By the way, the next few shows coming up are pretty are booked. Just wanted this would be the time we should promote them.
Sure.
Next week we have who the fuck is next week?
Could it be?
Oh, I don't have anyone booked next week. Sorry.
He bailed today.
2 weeks from now we have Diesel Dogs,
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
and then we have
Those are our boys, man.
Yeah.
Love those guys, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know those guys. Yeah.
Next
we know those
Thursday, I'm
guys.
jamming with Ryan, the keyboardist,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
for a jazz project.
Cool.
This is great. The
There we
small,
go.
small world, right? And then so they're coming in a couple weeks, and then we have Brandon McIntosh,
Woo.
Tyler Shazma, and potentially another guest, which I haven't booked yet, to talk conspiracy theories the week after that.
Ooh, nice.
And then after
be a good
that,
one.
I don't have anything booked. And then we have NHL former Toronto Maple Leaf Nathan Parrott will be coming
Oh,
in
sweet.
Whoa.
on May the
I
10th.
will not be missing that one.
Yeah, that'll be during playing. Not yet.
Not yet.
You mean
Yeah.
the greenhouse?
Yeah, the greenhouse. Nice.
Yeah. But Nathan Parrott will be coming in, and he's going to be promoting his podcast.
Cool.
And so that'll be good. So we got a bunch of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. So keep listening and watching Live from the Dutch Hall. That's it.
Yeah.
Fucking done. Woo. So this is finally our time where we get to introduce our great guests. They're going to open up with a song. It is this is the second time Dylan's been in. He was in once before with the Jesse Murphy Trio, and you would notice he would be the person on drums then. This time he is playing his native instrument
Shredding.
of guitar with his compadre Acosta Chastis. They call themselves Drunk Uncle, and their song they're going to be playing is called Take This Hammer. Anything else you want to say about it?
Nope.
All right.
Play.
Without greater ado, let's hear Drunken Uncle.
Take this hammer and bury it in the yard. Take this hammer, bury it in the yard. Take it away, baby. Bury it in the yard. Take it away. The Lord's coming looking for me. And take it away, baby. The Lord coming looking for me. So kill the man. Got her in the first degree. I killed a man. Got him in the first degree.
Little rock and roll for you.
All right. Drunken Uncle, everybody.
Super raw.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, super rock.
That's how you do
Say
it.
raw.
Oh, that too.
Super raw.
Super raw dog.
Good job, fellas.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so like I was saying, Dylan, that you were in last time with Jesse Murphy Trio, and we talked a little bit about you. You went to the other Berkeley,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Of music.
Music college, yeah.
And you actually in Boston, right?
Yeah.
And you actually studied more of the stringed instruments, correct?
I did. Yeah.
And then, but you were playing drums for the Jesse Murphy Trio,
Mhm.
and then now you you're obviously, and then Costa, you were saying that you were jamming with the Diesel Dogs in the next couple days.
No, like the like the keyboardist slash singer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, a few of them sing, but the keyboardist.
Willow?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Okay.
I'm jamming with Ryan next Thursday for a
Willa
jazz
plays
project.
trombone, right?
And like
Yeah,
mandolin and
yeah,
sings.
he
mandolin.
does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, crazy, yeah.
He's got all the auxiliary instruments down, so he
Yeah.
always has a job.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's like you tell my daughter because she's picking up all these instruments all the time, and I'm like, yeah, they'll always need you. I mean, everyone will need you for everything if you play everying.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Well, how many
You'll always be getting a
trombonists do you
call.
know?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Tromboners, thank you.
This is PG, if I'm not mistaken.
Trump,
Don't be a cunt.
I'm mistaken.
you're very mistaken. My point is that you guys play with a lot of people in town, right? As many as, like,
As much as I humanly can, it's tough, man. Musicians don't generally drive or have their shit together in
yeah.
any way, shape, or fucking form. Sorry, he doesn't drive, but he has his shit together.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
That's right. Comics are the same way. Like, it's amazing how many of them don't drive. It's like unbelievable.
At least your gear is a mic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right?
I don't have a car and I have to transport like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drum kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give me a lift with all this shit?
Yeah.
Can you give me a lift with my entire 8-piece drum set, my smoke machine, my whole lights?
Yeah. Most comics don't even have a mic to their name. They just hope it's there when they get there.
And they're praying.
Even at the fucking gig that they go to, half the time, I've been to gigs where there wasn't a mic at all, and I said I can't do it. At the
Just do
time,
it old school style, just fucking preach.
just talk, yeah, just preach it. And I'm like, I can't do it, man, because at the time I needed throat surgery, and I'm like, I need to bring a mic, so I brought like a bass amp and a microphone so people could hear me. Because otherwise, you're just another dude talking crazy in the corner.
Yeah.
You need to have a microphone, at least amplify your voice to let you know you're not just
You're
another
just
drunk.
a few pamphlets short of being a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, I am one microphone short of
Yeah.
just being a guy on the street talking into his
Jesus.
shoes, you know. So I wanted to say, like, so you guys have how long have you guys been doing the Drunken Uncle project?
Like 8 months
Yeah.
or so.
Ish.
And how's it been going so far? Like seriously, like,
Played some decent gigs.
and how did you guys meet though that you would start doing it?
He's in a band called Bad Reed.
Bad,
All right on.
Bad Reed.
Bad Reed, yeah.
They play fucking all over the place, everywhere, right? So
It's my main one.
I got hooked up with him, just going to a Bad Reed show, meeting him afterwards.
Halloween at the Road Factory.
Halloween at
No.
the-
We met before that, but that was the first time
Yeah,
we partied.
yeah. But I just met him through a gig, and
it worked out.
I mean, fast forward like a year and a half, we weren't playing music together. We just knew each other,
Oh yeah, right.
right? Because I was like just getting back to Canada. So I was like, I don't fucking know any musicians,
Yeah,
any at all, right? Except for Eric. He was the one I knew.
yeah.
And who the fuck wants to talk to that little fucker? Anyway, because he's French, right?
Yes. Sorry, Tickler.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Of course, the only guy with the brony tail is the French one, right?
Coolest Frenchman in
course.
the room.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't
before it
know
was a
any
brony.
musicians, so I went out to a Bad Reed show, met them all, and just,
Met all the musicians.
you know.
And
town
picked you.
At one.
And
Yeah.
well, and then we ended up playing a few shows together. I don't fucking even remember.
We played at the Brig together. Bad Reed.
We
and-
did, yeah. So we played a
Jesse
show at the
Murphy.
Brig together, and then eventually he just kind of hit me up and said, "You want to start a band?" I said, "Sure."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Easy.
honestly, half the songs we make up on the spot. That's literally like the only song we have like truly rehearsed. Everything else is totally off the dome.
Oh yeah, really?
It's just
Even
more
that
fun.
one's
Like
that way.
lyrically too?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I make all the lyrics up. I make all the guitar parts up.
Oh,
We have like 6. That's not true. We have like 6 or 7 songs, right?
That we've written, but they change every time.
They always
Yeah.
yeah, they always change every time.
That's like a joke though too, right?
It's like a joke.
Like if you wanted to have it like stay alive with you, that you're gonna keep being able to tell it for like ever,
Yeah.
then you should make it somewhat flexible. Otherwise, you're gonna end up hating it, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
eventually
not fun
It's
for
the
you
same with
anymore.
songs.
it's
exact
gonna
same.
turn into what's the deal with fucking airplanes and blah. And
Yeah, if you know every beat of the joke, to me, you'll eventually get sick of it, and then you won't want to tell it anymore. you
Yeah.
know?
I'm
So-
the type of musician that if I'm not being hired for a gig, so if like his other band, he's in an R&B group called Yoni, with his girlfriend, and they're amazing. So they get me to come in and play guitar with them sometimes. So when I do, I'm always totally prepared, totally rehearsed, parts right in and out, you know.
He plays guitar like an R&B soul guitarist, not like
Yeah.
No, like,
boom, boom, dum, dum,
Yeah.
like that. I mean, it's called for something, but like
some like, you know,
oh, sweet. It's got that sweet sound.
all that shit.
All right.
But I'm prepared for that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm being hired for a gig.
Yeah.
But if it's this,
Because it's yours.
I get fucking tired of playing the same song the same way, even more than twice.
and since there's only two of us, and he's got all the pitch, right, just guitar and singing, like, he just looks at me like, okay, I'll change it now. I'll change the part. I'll change the beat a bit, or like, it goes like this,
I'm
and
in,
I fucking cut it.
I'm in complete control of all the notes,
Yeah.
100% of the notes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
So
nice.
I can do anything.
So it's a different dynamic when you're in a two-piece. Then you have to play another role if you're in a 3 or 4 or 5. Like, but as
Yeah.
it gets bigger, then
Yeah.
you at least have to be conscious
The
of.
more
of the fact you're
Yeah.
affecting
the more
all those people,
Correct.
right?
chordal instruments, the more guitars, the more keyboards, the less busy you are.
Yeah.
Right. Because my job's being done by a keyboard player. So I have to kind of wiggle my way into the arrangement or into the song
Right.
uniquely that doesn't step on anybody else's toes. So that's when being prepared comes into play.
We were just
Right.
talking
Right.
about that with Heads, like talking about that jazz group that I was just talking about with Ryan. We were talking about like it's nice to have a player sit in, like if there's a band and somebody comes up and plays with them, kind of thing. I love seeing that, but unless they know the heads or unless they know like kind of what's going on
The
in the
meat
tune,
and potatoes
yeah,
of the
like,
song.
Yeah.
then it can detract quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It goes like even if you're a really good player. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It can turn into like a fucking shred fest. Like I sat in with a band called Flat 5 like a few months ago. And
Great band.
amazing. I love them. Willow's in that band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Kurt Tweedle, all those dudes?
Tweeds.
Cody
Shout out
Mackey,
to Tweeds
all those
and
guys?
Cody.
Well, they're sort of like a funk jam band. They're cool.
I should know that first name. He said.
Kurt Tweedle?
Yeah, if you meet a Kirk Tweedle, you'll remember Kirk Tweedle.
Oh, you'll fucking remember Kurt
You'll
Tweedle.
meet him.
You want to hear a funny... I
You
gotta
should get
get
those
him.
guys in here. You guys
Yeah, you got to get them in here. I'll talk to him to get him in
Okay,
here.
cool,
They're a
man.
ride.
Sweet.
Tweedle is a ride, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, like the first time I ever met... this was your story. Tell
We're
the...
at the Casbah. We're playing the Casbah, and Flat 5 played right before us. Fucking like dope night of music, and he's like got sweat all over his white shirt, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh fuck, got a bunch of dick water on me tonight. I don't know what happened." I'm like, dude, like I haven't. How's it going, man? Oh, I got some dick water on me. Like, what the fuck is going on?
As Tweeds is coming off the stage,
yeah, good.
Costa's
he
going
goes
on the
sweat?
stage. Tweedle just looks at him before any words have ever been exchanged. He goes, "Bro, covered in dick water, dude.
water."
Oh, it's nice to meet you." He's so fucking yeah. So anyway, so I sat in with that band, and I didn't know any of their tunes, any of them.
Right.
Tweedle was like, "Dude, sit in, man." So I was like, "Okay." So I would listen. They would start the song. I would listen, and then I would figure my way in instead of turning it into a big wank fest like all that. Like
Yeah.
I could turn it into like a
Yeah.
shred
Van
fest
Halen, yeah.
guitar solo look at me thing, but
Yeah.
instead, like I listened and they were playing, you know,
Yeah.
right? So if you listen to that, there's space right here. There's space. So I was like, okay, I could come into the space. Then I would come in the
tiniest-
space.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you have to.
Find your spot.
Right. But I get tired of that.
It's the same thing with drums as well. Like start playing anything.
Yeah, quick. Do you guys remember the ticket of the taint to the eye? Or do you remember any of the, do you remember the? Well, do the fuckholes. You did a bit of that with where you jammed the fuckholes. Right? You did.
Oh yes.
Earlier, you were doing some sort of a jam, and then it sounded to me like the fuckholes. And I said it to you, Wes. What was that?
Bouncing around the room.
Do you remember what that was?
That time then once again I'm bouncing around the room.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah.
That time then once again I'm
Oh, it's a butthole.
The butthole. Yeah, that's
It's her butthole. It's in her butthole. Hey, little girl, you pull me up tight. You come in close and I ask if I could stay the night. Don't push away, I'll get the lube. I'll wait it up and shove it into it's your butthole. It's your butthole.
Yeah, just like that.
You like that?
Fill the space.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You do fill it.
Fill the butthole.
Diddle, 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 diddle.
That's
That's
a
a
better
good
version
yeah.
of it. That's a way better version.
In your butthole, 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 in your hole, in your hole, in your hole, in your asshole, in your asshole, in your asshole, in your asshole.
Yeah,
Is that gold
exactly.
member?
Yeah,
You mean gold? Oh,
gold member works.
saved me from myself.
Yeah, see, that's easy.
But any,
That's a keeper.
so to not detract too far, but when I get to play with this, I get to do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to. So it's a complete challenge. It's like you going up on stage with no material,
Yeah, yeah.
being like, I'm going to challenge myself to be funny,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I'm going to challenge myself to not let this crash and burn.
Yeah.
Everybody gets maimed.
Yeah, you have to go out there and just like without a net kind of thing. Figure
Right.
it out. Yeah.
Thankfully, we
Sometimes.
have like 6 original tunes that I can
Go back to, yeah.
go back to if it's not going well.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Fitzray's, that was awful. I broke I broke a fucking string.
Oh yeah.
2 songs in, I had no replacement strings, so I had to do an entire set with like a crucial string gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was the worst. It was the fucking worst. No one was there.
Yeah.
Although that was the night I told you the last time that girl spread her ass cheeks and showed me her whole asshole and pressed it against the glass.
Against the glass.
Yeah, that's a
That was a
great.
good one.
That's a great
Then-
night. That solves that erases the fact you played for 2 people. That you know what I
It
mean?
made it all worth it.
Yeah, it does make
The
it
hour
work.
and a half drive.
Yeah. It's so painful to see what artists go through just to like fucking do what they love doing, you know? Because there's no like the problem with art is that you love it so much, you would do it for nothing, but you can't say that out loud,
Sometimes you have no choice.
or
but
you'll
to do
have to do it for
it. Or
nothing.
you'll end up having to do it for fucking nothing.
'Cause
I'll say it out loud. I won't do it for nothing
Yeah, yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
No.
you-
Anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Anymore is the thing. I did it
I
at
did it for
first.
years.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
Me
with
too.
$0 in mind.
Yeah.
No, we're now at the point where we're proficient enough that
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're like you should be compensated for the amount of time you put into developing a friggin' craft,
Well-
You'll
you
never
know?
get.
You'll never get that.
But you'll never get that.
I sat down and kind of calculated how much time I've spent playing guitar, and
Yeah.
it's like 17,000 hours. Like if I were to be getting paid for that,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing. But it's not going to happen. We're you're lucky to make $100 a gig,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then
Unless you play with this guy, in which case somehow he manages to rope in more money from everyone.
is that your Greek?
Yeah,
He's great.
That's it.
You
You
keep
got
it.
it. Nail on the head.
Yeah, it's just trying to
from my
find a way
puppy.
to scrounge. The
Let me
people,
tell you.
people know.
The pay is not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pay me more money.
To pay me more money.
There's an old joke about a Greek. I'm gonna tell an old joke about
Oh,
Greek,
boy.
right? You know what? Though you'll probably heard it, but there's a Greek and an Italian sitting around, and the Italian is saying, "What did the Greek ever do to help the world?" You know, and he's like, "What are you talking about? What did the Greek ever do? You know, what did the Italian ever do? The Greeks invented everything, and we invented math, we invented civilization, we invented politics, we invented."
It goes on.
We invented sex,
Your language.
and he goes, He goes, yes, but the Italians, we invented sex in the vagina. Hey, that's the joke. I think that's how it goes. It's an old joke. Because Greeks are known for anal sex.
Are they?
Yeah, that's what
Ancient,
they're...
Are you?
Yeah.
Me personally. Ancient Greeks, did a lot of that.
They'd
They'd have followers, like philosophers especially. They'd have followers, and they get drunk and have sex.
Yeah,
In their ace. In their asshole.
In their aces.
in their assholes.
So,
Cheddars always likes to bring up...
In their hazel's.
Cheddars always likes to bring up when I discuss this sort of stuff that it wasn't always that the Greeks would have anal sex. Sometimes they would take the soldiers that were of a lower rank and they would just surrender their thighs to the higher ranked officers. That's what Dave read somewhere, and he keeps saying they surrendered their thighs. So you wouldn't actually bang their bum hole, you just bang the thighs. Like the guy would have to sit there and hold his thighs together, and you just fucking...
Just borrowing some friction.
Yeah, just borrowing some friction.
Skin friction.
Some poor dude's got to like sit there and let some greasy old general...
Cover him in dick water.
Dick water,
right.
yeah.
All the dick water.
Yeah.
Man, that's the thing, man. Like, we have both together and separately played so many shitty, pissant, low rent, dumpy fucking gigs that at this point we solemnly refuse and have refused
Yeah.
to take
It's easier
less
than
than
you
what
think.
we believe we are worth as a group.
Yeah. Sometimes it hurts you to take that gig. Like that's what
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
finding now. Like
Most times.
it's like
most times.
you get asked to do a gig and you really want the spot because you need to get the stage time, but you just know the show's gonna be so garbage. It's gonna actually hurt you more than it's gonna help you. You know, like
You got to think of the show that you could have booked as well,
yeah.
right?
If you would have done your work right,
You've set that
yeah,
day 10 weeks away aside,
yeah,
and for what, right?
yeah.
You want to make sure it's worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of that has to be in the control of the artist too anymore. You know, you can't just rely on the booker to promote it anymore because
Quite honestly,
they don't.
at most like medium level venues, there is no booker.
No.
No, you're
It's-
doing it yourself, right?
You're lucky to
And
be
you-
working with a booker, and if you're working with a booker, it's probably more shady at the medium. Like, I don't mean to say that in a general way, but
I think you're
pure and
right
simple,
though.
Like,
Super
yeah,
true,
like
yeah.
a lot of people are looking to skim what they want off the top and then do nothing.
Well, it's
to make-
natural
bring
for
people.
people to want to take what they can out of the situation,
Yeah,
Correct.
right? So if I'm booking a show and I know the guarantee is $1,000 for 2 bands,
yeah.
right? I'm going to say, oh, man, I had to make a lot of calls and I had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
drive
yeah.
a long way and this
Yeah.
and that,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to take 300 off the top.
I will
Sorry.
gladly give somebody the money that deserves it, though.
Yeah,
If there's
exactly.
a promoter that deserves to be
If
in a
if you got a
position,
full room
by
and
all fucking
and you're
means.
and it's a great gig and you're like happy to be there.
Yeah.
I've worked gigs
that's
where
where a promoter is. That's where you want one, right?
yeah, and I've worked in those kind of gigs. You kind of feel bad about taking the money almost because you're like he just had such a good time and the guy did such a good job. He deserves it, you know. Like you're just happy to be a part of it, you know.
It's a better time, and you get more money. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
What's going on here?
It's that one you almost feel guilty
Yeah,
about.
well,
yeah.
it just feels so alien.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
so used to playing
Because
dump.
yeah. Here,
Right?
do the shit and you're gonna get paid like shit.
Like the show we played together on.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was fucking awful. We played, what the hell was it?
I don't even
It was
know what you
Canada
call it.
Day 4 months after Canada Day.
Exactly.
Number
oh, the
one.
150 thing.
The
yeah.
150 thing, but it was
confusing.
like, it was in fucking August. Or like fucking
Yeah.
September. It was September.
September.
It was in
September.
September.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like a Labor Day 150. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
they're
but
throwing around money at that time.
yeah, they
Stupid
just
liberals.
had shit. I don't know. So we played that gig. Route 6 is in front of us. And
Yeah.
I love Jane. I love her. But her fucking voice hurt my ears that night.
There's beer out there.
Because the sound, and it's not Jane's fault. It's
Jane who?
whoever. Jane Laidlaw?
Oh, the one that did the gig or whatever.
No, it was they played.
They played before us.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Running the sound.
it was Route 6.
I got there just for you guys.
And then us. And then Crown the Line. And the sound guy was so fucking bad. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear fucking anything, right?
Yeah.
And no one's there because they set the stage up so that our backs are to where everybody is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're playing to a field full of no one with like 200, 250 people behind us on what? So we're playing, and I'm looking at Jesse because I was like, what the fuck is this
We
shit? Like,
turn
no
around.
one's in front of us.
Yeah.
And then they get there, and everyone's gone because it's late. It's in Delhi. It's like a fucking, Saturday night.
Yeah.
What's going on, really? You know what I mean? Like 50 people were still there when you
Yeah,
guys showed
and then
up.
that ends up hurting your cause, right? Because if you're trying to book entertainment and then people don't do it correct. Not that I had a good time that night. I can't deny
Well,
that.
I think the thing is,
But
these guys said, like, you book the night off well in advance.
Yeah,
like, you know, okay, we got this gig, blah, blah, blah. Let's make it fucking count. You practice to make it good, and
Yeah,
then
you get there.
50 fucking people are like,
Right, and you know what?
Yeah, I think about the gig you guys had at that baseball banquet.
yeah, like,
That was a brutal one
it's
because
tough. Fuck,
because
you
it
guys
doesn't
are-
matter
apologize.
how good you guys. What did you get that gig?
Oh, I said I apologize.
And nobody gives a fuck.
Not
Yeah, Wes.
It's like, oh yeah, we really want a band, and then a band's there and they're playing and they practice and they're doing their shit, and nobody. Who cares if fucking band's here? It doesn't. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
then-
yeah, no, actually, we did do a lot of shit to try to make this work.
I
and the
think-
sound guy didn't do you any favors, like, because
No.
it doesn't matter how good you
No,
guys
he
sounded.
wrecked
That
it.
guy wrecked it, man.
So that's another job that
Yeah.
really, like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
okay
key.
with paying somebody.
Yeah, that's
premium.
why we pay Kevin.
Right, like
It's a
seriously-
calling.
Seriously,
I,
like
I
it's,
think it's a calling. You got to be into that. You
Yeah.
got to love what you do and
Yeah.
really take every gig seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Totally.
I think so.
And you
Take
don't
every
want,
gig seriously,
You don't,
yeah.
Like when you take gigs seriously, like I'm sure that you do. You don't want to play shitty gigs. You don't
No.
want to invest your time into a night that's not going to be worthwhile,
right.
whether it's monetarily or eyes on you. Like I'd actually rather play a show where I make less money if there's a room full
If
of
it's
people
good,
looking at me.
100%.
For sure.
I think
No
anybody
question.
would say
Honestly,
that. Fuck yeah.
Those are all the best fucking gigs that we have ever played, individually and together.
Where you come out being like, that was kick ass.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Where
shit
you,
about
you
your
like
money?
Oh,
almost
that
fucking
gig-
black out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
just like
That makes
you
it all
just go.
worthwhile.
It's
Yeah.
great.
And
Yeah.
those gigs, though, you usually get paid well because the night does well and the bar makes money or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah.
So it's cyclical, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're not going home with pennies because the night was fucking great. You know what I mean?
And anybody that went to that show, if they heard that they were doing another show, they would
Like,
be
I wanna
eager
be
to go
there.
back
Yeah.
because they had such a great time, you know. And that's the thing that these people that put on shows that they're not maybe experienced enough to put on a decent
Yeah,
one.
that's what. Yeah.
Those guys really do themselves some disjustice. Is that a word?
I think they just don't understand what
Because-
it takes to put on a show. You know, a good show.
Yeah,
And,
that-
and it's not 100% their fault, but they're taking that on thinking that, like, oh, yeah, we're just going to do this and, you know, whatever.
people like it.
Yeah, it'll be great. But, like,
don't
and
put the
then
work in.
good musicians come and
Yeah,
they just, it's bullshit. Like, they don't do it right. They don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. And it's unfortunate.
yeah.
It is,
And
it is give and take, though. Like,
Yeah.
once again,
Sure.
you got somebody said yes.
Yeah.
If you said yes and somebody said yes in the band, and they all said okay,
That's
cool,
right.
we'll play it.
Yep.
You
It's
gotta
half your
do it.
fault, too.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yep.
got
That's,
You're
that's
right.
something I've learned
That's why
from
you say no.
dealing with Costa and just kind of picking his brain about how he books, because I've never booked. Before coming back, I never booked. People booked for me, right? I'd be in a band and they would book, and then I would just fucking show up and play and get paid and leave. But he books in such a way where he goes, okay, here's how much money we need per kilometer driven to get to your fucking gig and home.
Yeah.
And here's how much money we take, called a guarantee. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're not taking any less.
I don't
Don't
feel
try to
bad
fuck
anymore.
with us.
No, no. you
Don't
have to
fuck
learn.
with me. We're not taking less. And 90% of the time they go, all right, cool. And then we show up and it's a great gig. And they're like, dude, you guys were fucking great.
It's all worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because we'll want to play better because we're
we-
getting paid.
An
and we,
investment on their part.
yeah, it is really. And like Paul, even like Paul frames houses, right?
Yep.
And same thing goes, right? There could be some friggin' Mennonite that's just trying to figure it out that can go put a price of anything he wants.
Yeah.
And the undercut Paul, who's like spent 20 years learning his craft and be able to put a crew together that can do it quickly and efficiently, and
Which
they got to
doesn't-
compete with dipshit trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's
commonplace.
yeah, yeah,
You go to like, honestly, a lot of like local shows, if you will,
yeah,
are like laden with that.
yeah, yeah.
Or in music, at least.
People are trying to figure it out, and
which
people
is
that
great. Like, don't get me wrong, there
Yeah.
should be a venue for that, but
Yeah.
maybe not
Right.
the same place that people who have put
We're trying to-
17,000 hours
There you
into
go.
it.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
We're trying to
exactly.
do our thing.
Like Paul's
Yeah.
houses are
Yeah,
worth
man.
this because he's put the fucking hours in, and the music
is
Your
worth
time
this.
is worth this because you've put that.
Yeah, and
100%.
I don't say yes to that stuff
That's
anymore.
right.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. Like if people are gonna put on a show and they're gonna like put a budget of fuck all into the show, and then they're gonna bitch about the fact the show's not good. Well, you
Get what you pay
get
for.
you get what you
Fucking
pay
anything.
for. you
But
know?
on the flip side, I've also seen, I'm sure you have too, I'm sure we all have,
yeah,
a good show, good budget, good promoter, shitty fucking band.
Oh yes. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
yeah.
Oh.
That is like that. That's real sad though, because there's so many good people out there.
Yeah,
Why do you have this
yeah.
shitty guy?
Yeah.
There's
But
a lot
it-
of shitty fucking
But
bands.
it's like the thing about art and commerce. You know, the two don't go hand in hand. Like most people who are good at the creative end suck at the business end, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So the guys that are good at the business end, they're promoting themselves correctly. They're like being aggressive and trying to market and trying to book and all that stuff. But they're not good as artists
Right.
as
The time is spent doing that.
doing the booking.
And that's a fucking shame, dude. Because
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
time you could be spending practicing, writing, recording, playing shows, touring, whatever the fuck
Getting
you could be
good at
doing.
it.
Instead, you got to go on Facebook and make sure that you have your
Fuck.
you
My
have your
phone died
post. And,
before I got here, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, because I make a post or sometimes 2 every day. Like, this is something I want to share with people. Like,
Yeah.
it's dead, so I can't. So it's kind of like, even though, like, hey, how's it going at home, right? But
Yeah.
like, to get something, hey, watch this live right now. Like, that's almost imperative. And the fact that I don't have my phone,
Yeah.
that right now,
and the fact that you have to have your phone
yeah.
sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that shit. I don't do it. That's the thing. That's like the kind of unspoken agreement we had in this band. Like, I don't fuck with that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't.
But how do you not though? Because you need it so bad.
You do, but
I
when it
tag
comes to our,
Yeah.
he does in everything.
Yeah.
He, it's like
Everything he sees it.
literally fucking everything. But he takes care of all that stuff. He
Yeah.
posts on all that shit. He does all the posts. He does all this, and I do my thing because I'm not good at it. I don't
No.
like doing it. I don't want to spend all day staring down. I want
Yeah.
to.
And that only came from necessity of my, like, well, the band I've been with the longest, Bad Read, is that it just wasn't happening otherwise.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, okay, well, I got to fucking do this. And it's got to look good.
Yeah.
And I got to put my thinking cap on, like, become good at this in order to have some semblance of that, right?
Yeah. I always like when I was a banker, there was these customers I dealt with, and they were like super rich, and but they weren't like fancy people at all. They were just like regular dudes, you know, like very self-made guys, you know, like but ridiculously rich. Like they had really achieved a lot in their life, and so I would pick their brains all the time, like be like, how do you guys like what is it? And I would try to learn their story. And the main thing about their story is that they would find out what they needed, and they would get people to do the things they needed to get it done, right? And then eventually, when they found out they were paying so much money to people who were doing the things they needed, they would just start creating a company to do those things that they needed. So instead of paying somebody else, they paid themselves. They would.
Yeah.
If they paid a lot of money in electrical work, they would start their own electrical company, hire electricians, and
Now,
then
instead of contractors, they're employees.
yeah, they would just.
Is its own expense, of course, but, like,
But then you end up making it a profit center, and then they
Yeah.
just kept doing that. Like so everyone they would hire, they would just make their own company, and they would just keep like they just kept making more companies. And then I thought, and it was kind of genius in a way because they just kept saying like, if someone else is making the money I'm making, I'll just make that money, right? And if I don't know how to do it, then I'll just figure out or find the people that know the things to do that I don't know how to do. And they just kept solving problems that way and kept getting more and more successful.
well, like that Fearless Flyers thing that we were watching, the Wolf offshoot, like, it's a perfect example. Like, he called those people in the room because he knew that they would deliver the product that he wanted. Sure, it's to hire Nate Smith or whomever. It's gonna be money. But
Yeah.
you'll make that. He believes that he'll make that back because it's a good investment, like you said.
Yeah, it's an investment. Yeah, and those
But at
people.
the same time, I just want to play the guitar. Why the fuck do I have to get a business degree all of a sudden?
No, but what I'm saying is, if that's your skill, you play your guitar,
Right. And then you delegate.
and then but that's not going to make me a complete artist to play
Right.
my guitar. I have to do all this other shit.
Right.
So then you just fill in the blanks with those other people,
Exactly.
and then eventually you end up doing. You had to hire that other person to do that shit for you. Well, now you've got that person to do that shit for other people too, and then you're making money off that person doing shit for you
Yeah.
and for other people.
Right.
And then it keeps going like that. Like these guys were really great at it. Like it was like
It sounds like pyramid-y.
it is kind of
in a-
pyramid-y, but it's just
not
like
really,
saying
but-
like I'll do. It's like a do-it-yourself kind of thing. Like
Oh yeah.
we're just like I'm just gonna fucking not pay somebody. I'm just gonna pay myself. You
That
know?
sounds great.
Yeah. And then
Yeah. Go ahead.
and then that keep kind of grows. So once you get those people in your loop or whatever, then you keep just
They're
using
not
those.
going anywhere either.
Yeah, they're not
Well,
going because
and-
everyone's doing what they want to do. Everyone's using their skills. Like he's playing his guitar, and he's doing the social media, and he's doing the accounting, and he's doing the booking, and he's doing the drums. You know, like everybody has their thing, but the whole thing creates because you used everybody's skills instead of just one. You end up getting good,
Right.
right?
And that's a
Further than you
community-
would on your own,
That's
right?
a community of people working toward a goal.
A common goal, yeah. If you're pushing yourself and if you're trying to push like a train down the track yourself, you're not going to get as far as if you had a whole team of people
Right.
pushing it, right? Like
Exactly.
that's
that
all
makes
it is.
sense, man.
It's
And
not like
that's-
rocket science, eh? It's
No.
just
No.
simple
It's
shit.
not like
socializing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's there, right?
It's not like.
But I think artists have this proprietary or maybe it's competitiveness, where they don't want to. It seems like
Oh yeah.
they want to get. They feel like if they help somebody else out, they're hurting themselves. You know what I mean?
That
That's
could be-
counterintuitive.
That could be a gig for me, or that could be this for me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
As
losing
opposed to, I'm hooking this guy up because I want to hook this guy up because he's a good guy.
because he's great.
And
Yeah, he's
then
good at what he does.
One day,
Yeah.
maybe he'll throw something back at me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you keep in the back of your head.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
something he'll throw something back at me. Like you book shows and you bring when we play together, we bring someone out to open for us.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And vice versa. Let's say
And
we
vice
play
versa.
in London. We'll play with like a bigger band from London
Mm-hmm.
and play right before them, type of thing. And get
And
the
then-
most bang
so
Yeah, yeah,
but that's the
that-
thing.
exactly,
If
right.
we
Try
bring
bringing
someone
in-
to our venue that we've worked and worked and worked until we can pack it,
Yeah.
and we bring someone out, you should probably bring us out to wherever you are.
Because not only they're getting paid well, but the room's full of people looking at them.
Yeah, yeah.
An opening band, no
Mm-hmm.
less, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And I got
I want them to be. I want them to go home and say, "Fuck yeah, that was a great
good
show,"
night, yeah.
and not
Yeah.
forget, right? And not
Yeah.
forget who helped them, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even if I've helped plenty of people who have not reciprocated a show or something like that. It's not really about that though,
Yeah.
right?
Because if
That'd
you
be nice, though.
It would be nice.
It'd be
Yeah.
fucking a perfect
Yeah.
world,
Kind of.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And all that stuff seems like fucking like it's the easiest stuff. It's just simple, like common courtesy almost, you know?
Yeah,
But-
but we're dealing with people, man.
Yeah, I
Complicated.
I got in trouble a while back. There was this guy. He asked me to book his. He asked me to promote his show. He sent some guests on this show, on this program. He sent some musicians over. They were not that good, and
Let's just
They were
say
not
you
that
guys are
terrible.
much better.
yeah, they weren't that great. And so we didn't hit it off. Like it was not at all a match, right? But he continually asked me to promote his stuff, right? Meanwhile, he books big comedy gigs, and he booked me on to open for Jake the Snake Roberts. You know, Jake the Snake. He's
No
right there.
shit, Jake the fucking Snake.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake, yeah.
Fucking
That's my
right.
dude.
Open for
Him
Jake.
and Macho Man. Those are my two guys.
Oh, Macho
Oh.
Man's the best, yeah.
Oh yeah. Dig it.
Michael's a big Macho
Oh,
Man
huge
fan.
Oh
Macho
yeah.
I am the cream of the crop.
Ice to the top. yeah. What was the one? Cup of coffee in the big leagues.
That's when being a cokehead on TV was okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was the
Yeah,
best.
exactly.
It was all good.
Now we're just cokeheads on the internet.
Yeah. I love the fact that wrestling in the 80s was just like coke fueled
Oh,
wrestling.
my
yeah.
God.
But PG.
Feuds.
Take your vitamins and say your prayers and all that
And
shit.
they all
But
had
like,
like followers.
yeah, we're all taking your vitamins are steroids and cocaine. yeah.
And Scandinavian hookers.
yeah.
In Hulk Hogan's case, anyway.
Yes. And a little bit of racism and banging your friend's wife.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
The funniest job in that has to be the guy who's interviewing Macho
Oh, Mean
Man.
Gene
Oh, yeah,
Okerlund.
Mean Gene?
Like
It's the
this guy's
best.
Like, all right, and he's like fucking knocking into him like.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the
"I'll
straight
tell you
man
right
while this
now."
guy's all coked up, right?
Oh, what's
Exactly,
going-
man.
What
It's
do
just
you mean, Macho Man?
Yeah.
It's exactly vaudeville. It's like old school, like straight
What do you
man
mean by
calling.
cream of the crop, Macho Man?
I mean that I'm the cream. Come here, bitch.
If you watch Mean Gene,
Mean
in those
Gene's
interviews,
unreal. He's
he is
unreal.
so
Yeah.
good as a straight man. He's like Bud Abbott and
Okay.
Abbott Costello. Like he's so good.
I'm gonna go top three. Ready? Top
right.
three. Mick Foley.
For
Then
what?
wrestlers, just all time.
All over.
Like
so you're
Mick Foley,
talking like
everywhere,
in-ring
Mankind.
Everywhere.
and on the mic.
Everywhere.
Okay.
No, all around.
Mhm.
Full faceted GOAT. Greatest
Okay.
of all time.
Okay.
We're going Mick Foley. Then we're going Booker T. Then we're going Macho Man.
Stone Cold.
Wow.
Man, that is a ballsy thing. You went
then
Booker
he's-
T.
he's
I
a-
would never
he's
see
a-
Booker T. I
Me
would never
neither.
see
What?
Booker
You're,
T.
you know your wrestling. Though.
Oh, buddy. Booker T was
Somebody
my
just says
dude.
Booker T out of nowhere.
Yeah, he loves Booker T. You know, I would put Booker T.
Booker T was my boy. He accidentally said the N-word in an interview one time.
Oh, that's
It
the
was
best.
so funny.
Yeah. Booker T is hilarious because even when he was doing commentary just like last year on like Raw, and he
Yeah.
was like not making sense half the time. Like he didn't make
Yeah,
any sense
he's
at
all
all.
fucked up from that CTE, right?
Oh, really?
Oh, he's got to be. They all are.
You see that guy's fucking arms? They're like huge, long
like-
arm, big,
Oh, yeah.
huge.
They're like oak trees.
Yeah, like they hang way too low. Like he is that's some sort of an ape-like thing, but I can't say that.
Nobody wanted to say it.
You can't say it, eh? Just if he was a white guy, you could say it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you could say he's a gorilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't say that with a black guy because then you're racist, right? But that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, because it's true. I was actually less racist because I would say it about any guy with huge ape-like arms, regardless of their color.
It's a compliment, really.
Yeah, I'm saying
You're
you
like
were.
98%
98%
like us.
DNA.
Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar. He's
no
also
denying
shaped
it.
like an ape. Like his arms are too long for his body. He's like He's a.
He's like
you
a
know what
King
Brock
Kong.
Lesnar is? Brock Lesnar's like a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Like a real. Like he's like he got through the. Yeah, Neanderthal. Did you pick up on that?
That's
Yeah,
your
that's
Dutch
actually
tea.
the correct pronunciation of the word Neanderthal, right? It makes you sound pretentious when you say it, though. You just say Neanderthal
Yeah.
like everybody else.
Brock Lesnar is a Neanderthal.
Yeah, but he is.
He is. He fucking is. And he
It-
still has that like flat top hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
He's got the big
army.
protruding
Figure it out.
forehead, the like two long arms. That's a Neanderthal if I've ever seen it. I like to say Neanderthal. And
He is
Eh,
tall.
and yeah, he is tall. And so my three. You want to go yours, Michael?
Yeah, I'll do top three. I'm in.
Let's go top three.
Round the
That's
circle.
greatest all time. Not just Mike. Not just in the cage or on the
Everything.
ladder or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
I like it.
All round wrestlers. I'm gonna. Jeez, man, that's a tough one.
Think about it.
But I'm gonna go because I love my favorite of all time is Roddy Piper, but he's not a great wrestler.
Right.
So I wouldn't put him up there, but I do love him. I love watching watching him talk, but not so much wrestle.
Right.
So I'd have to go. I'm gonna put on the list because I can't. I love everything he does. Ric Flair.
Oh,
Put him on the list. I love
Nature
his-
Boy.
The Nature Boy. The Nature
Did you watch
Boy.
the doc? Did you watch the 30 for 30?
I haven't watched it yet. I want to see it so bad. I've watched clips of it, but I haven't watched the
so
whole thing.
good. It's just him like just disrespecting everyone close to him that cares about him. It's so
He's telling
good.
the truth of how much of a dirtbag he is the whole time.
The
and
whole
it's
time.
hilarious,
Yeah.
apparently. And
It was a big hit.
and like he's just not even the.
I cheated on my wife. I wanted to
He said like
because I could.
How long were you faithful to your wife
about
for?
a day.
Yeah, about a day. I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
No, he has to fuck people.
Because he's the nature boy.
He's a nature
gotta
boy.
do it.
He lived
So
the
Ric
character.
Flair.
I'm gonna put Ric Flair in there, and I'm going Macho Man too because Macho Man to me is the greatest. Is the greatest in ring and on the mic. I like everything about the Macho Man, so I'm going to go Macho Man too. I can't deny the Macho Man his place.
And the name. The Macho Man Randy Savage.
Randy Unbelievable.
Savage.
That's the greatest wrestling name there ever was.
But
It's the perfect amount of cheesy.
yeah, exactly. And then for the third one, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go real old school here. I'm gonna go. My favorite wrestler. I'm gonna say Dynamite Kid.
Oh.
Dynamite Kid.
Yeah?
Deep cuts.
You want to know
Yeah,
why?
That's deep cuts.
Few eras he
Yeah.
was in.
Dynamite Kid. I'm gonna put on the number 3.
1,
That's
2,
my
3
favorite.
kid also.
No, number
Dynamite Kid.
I like the Dynamite Kid, because he was real badass in real life too.
Yeah.
Like he would actually kick your ass too. But he's like a short little British guy. But he was like he'd fuck you right up. And then I would say Chris Benoit, but he killed his family, right? But he was the
Yeah,
exact
bad
same
ending.
wrestler. You remember Chris Benoit? He was the same as Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
But Dynamite Kid was a little bit more charismatic because he really would kick people's asses. Oh no, shit! I'm gonna take Dynamite Kid off the list. I'm gonna take him right off.
Retract.
I'm gonna put one on the list that is gonna replace
If you
Dynamite
say
Kid.
fucking Bret Hart, I'm
Nope.
leaving.
It's Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh.
And Ravishing Rick Rude, if you don't like him,
Agreed.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go
Awesome.
fuck yourself. I just thought about Ravishing
If
Rick
you don't
Rude.
like him, you can go fuck yourself.
I believe that's the case. So you know what I want to talk about one thing with you guys before we leave, because Steve, the reluctant German, he told me, he said, me and Charters are going down to the Shaky Knees Festival in Atlanta to watch Jack White and Queens of Stone Age and Tenacious D.
Ooh,
Fuck you
I
guys.
was,
That's
and
awesome.
cake.
I was,
And cake.
I was really, really thinking about that, but I'm going to Curveball instead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we're going down to Shaky Knees. So Steve said,
You too, Pete?
me and Charters are going down to
And
Shaky
Steve.
Knees. No, not Steve.
Oh.
I'll be in Ecuador.
Steve told me try to get a press pass, so you can get a press pass for Live from the Dutch
Fucking
Hall.
smart. Do it.
Yeah, I did it,
And?
and they declined me.
Oh.
They declined me.
Fucking Wikipedia.
So I thought I sent them like a whole bunch of clips of shows and people I interviewed, and I was like, did everything the right way. I did an application for Charters, an application for me. I don't know if Charters' application hurt us both. Just having his name on it, I think was not good. But I think
Master of industry.
but they were on. It took them like a day. Like they said, it would be like April 24th before you'd hear. It took them like a couple hours
To deny you.
to say like, no way, you guys are shit. And so anyways, I'm not going to read it, but it basically says we're garbage, and then we're not going to be able to do that. But try again next year. And I said, next year will be too fucking big for you motherfuckers. That's what I said.
That's the right fucking attitude,
Yeah.
too.
And we're still going there. And you know what? We would have limitations on what we could film if we got the press pass. But now that we don't have the press pass, we have no limitations on what we can film, because
Be with the real people.
they'll have to catch us in the crowd, which is
Good luck.
hard to do, right?
Good luck. Everybody's on ecstasy.
So Shaky Knees, we win, and me and Charters are going to come. Now, you gave a yuck to Jack White?
No, I gave a fuck yeah to Jack White.
Awesome. Awesome.
Love
Oh,
the
okay,
guy. I've
okay.
seen it. I saw him at
That was
Madison
a,
Square Garden.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Like you're jealous.
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna fucking
I'm gonna
get
pre.
to see Jack
Oh, yeah.
White.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pre.
That was my only chance to see him this year on this tour. I've seen him in every incarnation of. I saw the White Stripes. I saw the Dead Weather. I saw Raconteurs and Jack White solo.
I was at the show in New York at Madison Square Garden
Really?
when he had Run the Jewels, the rap group, open for him.
Really?
And Run the
Well,
Jewels.
who was he
brought out-
playing with? Which incarnation? of
It
Jack
was the
White
Lazaretto tour.
Oh,
so It was
cool.
Lily
Ike,
Mae
rest
Rishi.
in peace.
Yeah,
Lily Mae Rishi gave me the fuck me eyes one time
yeah. Mm.
in Nashville. His violin player.
Oh, really?
That's a true story, and it can be backed up. I'm not fucking making this up.
You
It's
think
true.
you got real fuck me eyes?
I
for
got
that?
fuck me. I bought her a drink.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, we're talking real. You had a conversation and everything.
full on, full tilt.
Oh, well, I'm liking it. Because I got fuck me eyes from the black drummer.
Daru,
guy was
and his name's Daru
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
Drumming
black.
Over the top.
His kid is like so flat, eh? He's like almost
it's like
opposite,
this.
right? Like
It's
it's,
like this.
Yeah, it's
inverted,
tilted
right?
the other way.
And so he's standing up over
Yeah.
it, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
wild, man.
But anyway, so Run the Jewels opened for him, and Run the Jewels brought out fucking Zach De La Roca from Rage Against the Machine. And
Nice.
he did a song with them.
What?
Oh,
the-
no
Where
way.
the fuck did he come from?
They were like, ladies and gentlemen, Zach De La Roca. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
I was on the floor. I was like 30 feet from the stage. I should. I was so bummed. I was like surrounded by like these ponytail dudes.
Easy, easy, Kev.
Easy, sorry.
Stay down.
Stay down, stay down. Yeah. I was surrounded by like these fucking, milk toast, lethargic hipster kids who like stand with all pigeon toed and shit, and they didn't even know who he was.
What?
He came out and they were like,
Oh,
Who the
just
fuck
another
is this
thing.
guy?
yeah, he comes out like, blah, 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 and I was like, oh, dude, I was freaking out. Like, I almost punched someone in the fucking head. Like, it was great, man.
It's just a reflex.
That's the right reaction.
That's
Yeah.
the right reaction. As soon as you hear like, like you're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah, yeah,
you start
yeah.
getting all worked up.
I almost died in 2007 at Lollapalooza watching like Rage Against the Machine, trying to find charters. It was the same thing.
It's always charters, eh?
Yeah, he was crazy. He got
went right
he got
into the
a
neck.
bruise on his chest from the front rail so bad, and they had to stop the show. I lasted 3 songs, and then I had to go through 2 mosh pits to get out of that, and then we just drank wine and put her feet up on Muskoka chairs for the rest of the Rage Against the Machine show.
That's the
Because I realized
other
that
best way to watch Rage
Yeah.
Against the Machine.
I realized there's no more beer at the beer tent, so we had to drink wine.
Everybody's just killing
And
each
I was
other.
like, I am not
Yeah.
dying here. You know,
No,
it was
no,
way
no.
better. But it was a fucking great show. That was their first show when they came back. Like it was a reunion show.
Yeah, and it
So
was
the
good.
Crowd went like
The
ape
reunion
shit.
was good. Most reunions are shite.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Anyway, so Jack White then plays, and he's like doing everything I could have ever wanted him to do. He does early White Stripe shit. He did Hello Operator
Yeah.
from the second album.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like he's pulling out what the fuck? What does it?
When we saw him, he the girl from Dead Weather.
Oh, yeah.
Allison Mosshart.
Yeah, Alison Mosshart and Dean Fertito.
Yeah, they came too.
We were in Detroit at the Masonic Masonic Temple.
Temple, yeah.
And they came out and then they were just like watching the show from the side the
That's
whole time.
unreal.
Yeah.
And then they played the one, I'm a Buffalo.
Oh right. Yeah, walk like a buffalo, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so
Oh, what a
Jack
great
White brought
song.
out Q-Tip.
Q-Tip.
From
That
a
is
tribe called Quest.
Yes.
He brought out Q-Tip.
No shit.
He was
Cra-
playing that Black Bat Licorice.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
song,
yeah.
And Q-Tip did the whole second verse
No way.
himself. He was like, he just came out. He was like wearing leather pants and Jordans and shit. It was perfect. And he comes out. He does the whole thing. And then they finished that song. And then his upright bass player starts playing Excursions from Low End Theory, the first track, that boom, 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 boom. And they do it. His band does that song with Q-Tip leading the fucking. Bruh.
Calm down.
It was like the
So you're going now too with these guys.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if it'll top that though.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
he
It was that good.
he
eh?
puts
That's
on
awesome. Yeah.
he puts on the best show. Have you seen Queens live?
Yeah,
I-
we saw
I
him.
have.
We saw him a
And?
few times.
I've never seen him.
Awesome.
I saw
Good?
him. I think I've seen him
saw him a
3
few
times
times,
now, and it depends where you sit.
Yeah.
Oh really?
If you're in a
Loud,
stadium and you're in the shitty seats, I'm sorry, I just don't enjoy the show. I don't care who you are.
The
I
last
just,
time we saw him, it was awesome.
when you're this fucking
Yeah.
big,
yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah. But when
I
you're
just
right
don't-
in the speaker, it was the loudest fucking show. And I've been at a ton of shows. It was the loudest
Yeah.
show. I've never had my ears ring
Like
2
they're
days
tight.
after.
They're tight as fuck, and they're
Yeah.
great to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
Like
And
they're
there's so much up and down. Like,
yeah, and it's a great. I mean, all their tunes. I love all their songs. So like to me, it's like they're terrific. But
you got to be in the right spot.
I just
agree.
feel you had to be. I'd like
You
to
gotta
the
be
intimate
down there.
the-
part of
the
it. You got to
down.
be part of it.
You got to
yeah.
be down there.
I want to feel it.
I
yeah.
agree. Same
And
thing. with-
Hami is very. The few times I've seen him, he's very receptive to how the crowd is. If you're good, he's good. If you're dicks, he would just be like, "Fuck you guys." Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very like
Yeah.
he's that kind of
that dude.
Yeah.
That dude is like the new Elvis.
yeah. He's kind
He
of
really is. That guy is Elvis Presley. Like
He
the way
does have a
does
cool factor that he doesn't deserve.
that's what
you
I
know,
mean.
like, by the
he-
look
He's
of
like
him.
a fucking 6'4" ginger weirdo.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, that guy's got swagger, man. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have that.
Yeah, with a banker.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
with a
it's-
banker haircut and a dad bod, you were fucking cool as shit. I don't
Right,
know
it's-
how
yeah,
the
it's
fuck
kinda
you
weird.
do it, man, but he does it. I don't know how he pulls it off with a snarl of his lip or something,
So
but he works it out.
before, can I ask you guys your favorite show you've ever seen?
Ooh, good question.
My favorite show I've ever seen.
You can give an A and a B if you really can't think.
I'm gonna say I got mine. It's Pink Floyd. It was at Exhibition Stadium. it
Division
was the
Bell 94.
Division Bell '94. It was the early show on a Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah, there were two shows.
It was the early one. They had to make it early because they had some fucked up thing. And I was the driver, stone cold sober. I don't know why, but I was fucking into that whole show. It was the best. I just really, really enjoyed it. There's a pig that came over the whole crowd and
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit. It was like I just really enjoyed. That's definitely one. But then but oh shit, I don't know if that would top. No, Rock on Tour is 2007 at Lollapalooza is number one.
I'm
Sorry,
jealous.
I replace it.
Yeah, me too. That's
Rock on Tour is 2007 Lollapalooza, and we're on the concert video. Me and Charter's front row.
yeah. Charters.
It makes a huge difference, so that's I'm gonna go with that one too.
Yeah.
So we were on the concert video. I forget what year. I want to say like 2003. Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
It was at like the Cool House or some sort of warehouse in Toronto. All My Life had just came out, and they had like the big curtain, and Dave Grohl comes out, doo, 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 and then they drop that curtain, and that whole fucking concert was pushed to the front, and just that was
Like-
for me. I think it was my 19th birthday.
I'm
and
going
it was-
to. I know I'm
that
going to
was-
dig what you tell me.
Yeah.
I've been
Come
to
on.
I've been to a lot of shows, right? So I did like a bunch of like Lollapalooza in '93 was, you know,
Yeah,
like
Steve's been to a million.
Tool
Yeah.
and Beck and
That's
like,
unbelievable. But
it's crazy.
I would say individual
yes.
show. You know what I mean?
It's got to be like one performance.
You like
yeah.
you can't say like I saw Tool and Beck.
All right, okay. Then I'm gonna go with Radiohead. OK Computer Tour, Centennial Hall in London.
Wow.
Centennial Hall.
That's next level.
Wow.
They played Call the Office.
Yes, they did.
Oh, What?
Their
On the
pictures in there.
Venice
Yeah.
I
Yes,
think
they
I'm playing there
did.
in July. So.
Yeah. They totally did. Their pictures on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
And,
fuck.
Yeah.
I watched Radiohead that same Lollapalooza that I saw Rage and Rock on Tours, and I said, "These are the guys that are boring. Let's go home." Swear to God.
You're a cunt.
Yeah, and I regret that 100%.
Yeah.
I regret that 100%. And Tom York was working so fucking hard on stage. Like, if you listen to his music, you would never know how hard he's working up there. Like, he
that
is
guy's giving it.
sweating so hard. He's like froth coming off him. He's working his ass off.
Yeah, yeah.
Seen it live from the basement.
But the crowd sucked, eh? The
Oh.
crowd sucked. That's why that
Well,
show.
it's all those like I read people.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
read books.
The crowd wasn't into it. They were like, and I drove like 8 hours that day to get to the show, and it was the headliner. I just
Fair
went to
enough.
Rock on Tours, and I
Yeah.
had the best show ever, and I was just.
And
I
you were
was-
burnt out.
I was burnt
And
out.
then when they start going like,
Yeah,
you're like,
trancy
okay.
shit. I'm like, I'm done.
I feel you. But if it were just them, just that.
If I
It
went
would've
for
been-
that reason, I would have fucking enjoyed that
Yeah.
a million times more than I did, because I was just like done with it. Yeah, so I regret that every
There's
day.
the power of
Now,
less
wait.
bands on a festival too, right? Like I've thought about that quite a bit. Is like, do you need 4 days of bands playing non-fucking stop, or do you need one of
all
like a
good
few
bands.
really good? Yeah. Not
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
that they're not all good, but you can't possibly absorb
No.
4 days worth of music.
It's the best show you've ever
I
seen.
can.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll do an A and a B. I think A had to be. I saw System of a Down.
Ooh, nice.
This is kind of like, I know we were talking about not other bands as well, but System of a Down, the Mars Volta opened for them. I don't know if you-
Sick.
Okay,
Yeah, I've
I
saw
never
'em.
heard of the Mars
The
Volta at
Chili's.
that point. We're talking 2004. I was still like 13 years old, right? This fucking band, these two guys come on stage, the short little fucking Mexican guys, 7 other people come on behind them, and they played like 4 tunes over the span of an hour. I was like, that's my new favorite
It's
band.
funny
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many times people like you hear people say that about like Mars Volta. Like what? It's
Yeah,
like
Mars
there's the
Volta.
unknown.
Fun fact: Queens of the Stone Age, John Theodore, their new drummer, is
Yeah.
is
So
from the
good.
Volta.
Is that what he's from
Disgusting.
them?
Yeah,
He's
man.
disgustingly good. Oh yeah.
Dude, check out some of their early, obviously.
Really?
I
didn't know that. He's from there.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I would do it if I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
B, maybe even A. It's kind of a toss-up. But I was just mentioning this earlier. But last year in May, the end of May, I saw Wolfpack, and I had to. That's the most entertained I've ever been.
What?
I think.
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. You'll.
Is this
next
a
time I
German
see
band?
you- No, but people did think they were German for a while, so that like was part of kind of the hype. Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this German band.
Like Rammstein or something.
But they're actually German though, or Russian or something.
Yeah, no, Rammstein's German.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
they're shit.
But these guys, man, like, they played for probably an hour and a half or so, and I was glued, fucking glued the whole time, entertained.
Yeah.
I've never been that entertained. Even at the Mars Volta System of a Down show, like, I've never been that engaged in
Cool.
live music. And like we were talking earlier, I can't remember who was saying, but like, just people were. Some of these songs are instrumental, and people are just
Sing
belting
along.
them, belting
Yeah.
these.
The
Oh,
technical
they're
ability.
singing that? So.
Just the like their technical ability and the musicianship between them. Like there's no
Oh, right.
ifs, ands, or buts between them. It's literally, hey, we're gonna play this. Oh yeah, you're doing that too. Oh nice, yeah, yeah. And everybody's just funking out on the stage or in the studio.
they're cool,
live.
man.
Yeah.
Everything's live for them. Couple takes.
Very true.
Yeah. they're
Wes,
cool.
No
I'm
bullshit.
interested to hear what yours is, Wes.
The balls.
Iron Maiden.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Iron Maiden?
Yeah,
What year?
Hands down.
Around.
2004 maybe. Motorhead opened up for them,
Motorhead opened for Iron Maiden,
and
then
Ronnie James Dio.
that was the whole show.
Badass.
That was
This is
the
a
whole
badass show. And then what? So you said that the best was who was the closer again? Sorry,
Iron Maiden was the
Iron
closer.
Maiden.
Yeah.
Is that? Do they have that Eddie?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
big
the guy was-
monster.
it was fucking huge.
It came out on.
It was unreal, and those guys are like 100, and they were running around the stage.
666. Is that guy gay? The lead singer, Bruce Dickinson. Is that Bruce?
No,
You're thinking of
I'm Bruce Dickinson.
No, Judas Priest.
Judas Priest.
Yeah, the Judas
that
Priest
guy
guy's
is
gay.
is gay as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob Halford.
Rob
yeah.
Halford. Yeah. And you never get. I didn't guess it as a kid. Judas Priest, the lead singer, was gay. I knew Queen. I knew Freddie Mercury. I kind of figured it out.
Half their songs are about coming out of the closet.
The name of the band is
want
Queen.
to break free. Yeah. That
Yeah.
The dying of AIDS gave it away for me.
Yeah. That's a good closer. We should end it with dying of AIDS. Anyways, we should actually wrap this thing up. We've been going for a really long time. I really appreciate our guests coming in from Drunken Uncle.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very much, Costa and Dylan.
Awesome job.
Go out and see them, guys. If you hear about people playing it, you know these guys are going to put on a good show, so go out and see them. And also go see Crown and Lion or Nocturnal Emissions when they're around it, because they're going to put on a good show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Give us some feedback. You know how to do it. Just do it at lifefromthedutchshell@gmail.com or go on any of the social media things. You'll get it done. That's it. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. Until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday. Guys, what are we going to play out? Are you going to want to just jam out instead of... yeah, let's just jam out instead of playing the theme song.
There you go.
Yeah. Feel free to join in, Nocturnal Emissions.
Do what we can.
sweet time. Give it right back to you one of these days.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, Pete, shut off the cameras.
That's a
how you
show.
end
That's
it.
a show.
That's how you end it.
All right, stop it. Yeah.
Well
stop
done,
the cameras.
fellas.